This week, the trailer for Marvel's The Defenders. We review the mortally disappointing Iron Fist, get a Mass Effect Andromeda update. It is not good. Roy and I get giddy over Horizon Zero Dawn, and grooming tips for the discerning geek. This is Modern Retro. Welcome back to Modern Retro. I'm Cuba. How you doing? I'm joined on Skype. This is so weird. This isn't our first time all Skyping, but this is our first time all Skyping properly.
Is this a Roy debut? Is this a Roy video debut?
No. Video in the last time we recorded, but his phone was standing straight up. It was dark. I mean, it's gonna be dark soon.
This is a Roy horizontal debut.
Yeah,
it'll still be moving around a little bit. So
yeah, if you have any sort of like if you have any sort of like stomach problems or nauseous or anything like that, like don't look at the Roy video.
Don't look at Aaron.
Well, don't look at him for a different set of reasons. But the U video is definitely like reality shaky cam.
I know, sorry.
He's like in a haunted house running around.
As I say that, I hit the table with my knee, and mine becomes shaky cam. So we got a whole grab bag of a show going on here. A lot of things to cover. A lot of little topics here and there. So let's see. Let's start with the thing that came out today, most recent of the news, I suppose you could say. The trailer for The Defenders came out today. And
that was a shock and a half.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all.
And I was like, and it said Marvel Daredevil, so I was like, oh, Daredevil 3 already? Like that seems kind of fast. And then it turned out to be The Defenders. I was like, hey, wait, I know you. Wait, what?
Yeah, because you posted.
I haven't seen it yet.
God damn you, Roy! Jesus.
Hey, I work for a living. Cuba, you're a stay-at-home wife, and Aaron sits down at a computer all day.
Yeah, but I was gonna say he works too, but
I was gonna say there is no. You guys, what'd you say?
He works too, but apparently not hard. But with the amount of YouTube videos he's constantly sending,
he sits at a computer all day. That's
I have it in the background. I don't need to look at it. I just need to hear it.
No, you need to look at The Defenders. Roy,
well then tell me. Just tell me about it.
We're gonna. I
already know what happens in the very end. Anyways, I saw it on a fucking headline of something that spoiled it for me. So,
you are the king of being spoiled. I don't know how any human being who doesn't actively look for spoilers is constantly getting everything spoiled for him.
Because it's
you need to unsubscribe from some shit, man.
Exactly,
I do, but honestly, while I like that the TV universe, I actually like it a lot more than I like the film universe. I don't know. I don't mind certain things being spoiled. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't want anything to be spoiled for me on purpose, like Star Wars, which did happen, but that was more the act of
which did happen.
That's what
that was more the act of one lone terrorist and not, an organization. That was just a wild card. So,
well, the trailer for The Defenders came out today, and like we were saying, everybody was caught off guard because Iron Fist just ended. So I wasn't expecting a trailer for The Defenders till at least, let's say, August or something like that, later on in the year. But it turns out that it's debuting in August. It said coming like August 7th or something like that. I'm like, oh yeah, shit, that's quick. And I have
we know why Iron Fist sucked so bad. It's because all the good fucking directors and everything like that are working on the Defenders project.
That's a good possibility. We'll talk about Iron Fist momentarily.
Did we already review it?
No, we've spoken about it out, like, not recording. We haven't actually put our thoughts on audio yet. But for the Defenders looks cool. Definitely looks cool. And one of the most satisfying things of the Defenders was watching Iron Fist try to like beat the crap out of Luke Cage, and he's like completely unfazed, and then Luke just punching him down to the ground.
Yeah, that was cool.
But the way it looks like they're coming together. It looks like they're definitely trying to be like, this ain't yo mama's Avengers or something like that. You know what I mean? It's, how like the Avengers didn't quite get along together at the very beginning. I feel like most of this is going to be them not getting along.
Well, that's good. You have to have that.
But it makes for good storytelling, and strife between heroes is always a good thing. It's why Civil War. It's why Civil War is so interesting.
And I think just like the Avengers movie, the first one was just like balls out crazy because it was the culmination of all the individual movies leading up to this, awesomeness. I think that's what this is going to be like. I don't think it's going to be as grandiose, but I have a feeling it's going to give that same feel. It's like all these plot lines they're finally come together, and we're seeing the whole painting now. And everything with the hand that has been going on, it's gonna come to a head. And Sigourney Weaver is in this as I don't know if she's the leader of the hand or just another high level person in the hand, but just the fucking godmother of science fiction in this show. I'm totally sold. It could be a piece of dog shit, and I'll be happy because she's in it, and she's never done anything like bad.
It's funny because Akota, my stepdaughter, she's big into Nirvana, like loves Nirvana, plays all his songs. That type of shit.
I tease her a lot about it.
So
there's nothing wrong with liking Nirvana.
The past year, I've been trying to get her to watch Alien, and every time it's like, oh no, it's too late. No, and she's been kind of interested in watching Alien until I mentioned Sigourney Weaver's in it, and she's like, oh, I love Sigourney Weaver. So I watched this trailer, and then it had like she loves Jessica Jones, so it had like the whole Jessica Jones thing. And then Nirvana kicks on, and then Sigourney Weaver. I'm like, oh shit, fucking Dakota's gonna love this shit
for her.
Seriously, killing it. Marvel's killing it.
Yeah,
they have their hand on the pulse.
It looks good. It definitely looks good. I was gonna say, I wonder if they could somehow tie Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. into it, but I think they're trying to keep that separate. But I mean,
I know it sucks.
I haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since the second episode of the first season, and because I didn't like it. But I heard that the season with Ghost Rider was like a game changer to the point where Ghost Rider's coming back, and I'm like, why are they wasting him on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, put Ghost Rider in the Netflix shows. He fits in with Daredevil, in The Punisher, and everything. He doesn't fit in with Agents of fucking S.H.I.E.L.D.
They needed a superhero, man. They needed some superpowers in that friggin' show.
Yeah, I guess. But just, that's where I want, like, the crossover to happen with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Defenders is maybe how Rosario Dawson is the link between all the Netflix hero shows. Maybe they make like Daredevil, Ghost Rider, the link between Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Defenders. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice because like you said, it fits in with that world, and we'd actually get to see a Ghost Rider that we can be proud to watch, and not the shit that's come before it.
Well, like I said, they said that the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. take on him was really good. And the few clips I saw, it's on Netflix. Well, not that season yet,
I'll never watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. again.
I never
watched
got
2 seasons, and it was like, ugh.
See, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the Ghost Rider episodes to show up, and then I'll watch that season.
I never got into it, to be honest, because I heard from you guys that the first 2 seasons are kind of iffy, and then it gets better. Or maybe it wasn't from you, but that's what I heard.
No, I watched the first episode, and I went, wow, that was just too Josh Whedon-y. And then I watched the second episode, and I went, oh, yeah, that was bullshit. And then I never went back. I
think I watched it up to the point where I found out what happened to Coulson since the time that he died in Avengers, and I was like, all right, that's a good season wrap for me. Like, I'm done with this.
You told me about that, yeah.
Wasn't he on an island or something?
Tahiti?
Yeah.
It's a great place.
Oh, is it Fiji? Is it
Fiji?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. So, Iron Fist. Has everybody seen Iron Fist?
No, man.
Roy, why are you even on this podcast?
What are you doing with your life? You're working too much.
Connection to the actual working man. You guys get to Netflix and do all this stuff. I will say, though, I should have seen that by now, but I've been so engrossed with Horizon that any free time that I've been putting in serious hours into that game. So, all
right, I'll let that one pass because of Horizon.
I'll come handy in the later half of this episode. I'm really going to shine.
So, Iron Fist has been out for like a month now, I think, and even before it came out, it started getting negative reviews. People are saying it's the worst out of all these Marvel Netflix shows and everything.
Whitewashing.
That's not even it, because it's not whitewashing when the character was originally a white guy.
Yeah,
They can change it. The Marvel can change it.
They could change it, but the thing we'll address that controversy. People, that was one complaint. That was a minor complaint that people had. The show wasn't bad because of the supposed whitewashing that people were claiming.
You didn't read the articles on the sites that I read. Well, that was a big fucking thing.
Like I said, it's not whitewashing because in the comics, he's a white guy, and they chose a white guy to play the white guy from the comics. That's not whitewashing. Secondly, yes, like, you could have put an Asian guy. You could have an Asian guy because it's all about Asian culture and stuff. You could have, but it doesn't go with the story. It doesn't go with the story of a white guy being rescued from a plane crash by fucking monks and taking him in. You know,
whatever, you cis white male, your opinion doesn't count.
I have no problem.
I bet you voted for Trump, didn't you?
You're racist.
You disgust us.
I have no problem with changing I've come to terms with changing comic books for television and movies because there have been some good changes that they have done, and I have. At first, I was your typical comic book geek where I'm like, you can't do that because in the comics, that dude is like this, and you can't make that guy a girl. And most of the changes that they've made for television and movies have been pretty good changes, or don't even matter, so there's no argument about them. To change Iron Fist into an Asian character, you would have to completely change the entire plot, his backstory of the show. It wouldn't have made sense.
Well, because from what I know of Iron Fist, which admittedly isn't a whole ton, but kind of his weirdness in the story is the fact that he's a white guy from America who is he crashes and becomes ensconced in the Asian. I can't remember the name of the fake country, but
it's in the mythical city of Kunlun.
Kunlun, okay. So
I know what you're thinking. I saw your eyes roll. You're like, heh, heh, heh.
Yeah, you know. So birds of a feather we are. So and he gets like engrossed in that culture and becomes a part of it, becomes a part of him. And then once he goes back to America, it's like he's kind of an outsider again because even though he's a white guy, he doesn't quite fit in like he used to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, he was dead. He was, thought dead for 15 years. He spent 15 years, mostly, more than half of his life being raised by monks. And then I don't know if like the monks just take in anybody because later on in the series, when his best friend from the city shows up to bring him back, that dude's not Asian either. He's like a Pakistani or Indian guy or something. So I don't think Kunlun is strictly. It's in China apparently, but I don't think it's strictly a Chinese city, and that's consistent with martial arts as well because there's no martial arts that I'm aware of that says only Chinese, only Japanese, only Koreans can learn this art form, this martial arts.
Now though, but back in the day in like the 60s or the 50s, it was like huge taboo for Japanese people to come and teach martial arts in America. That shit didn't happen. You know what I mean? That was considered it was a strong point of pride, just like anything else in culture. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, if you're a white guy in the 50s and you want to learn martial arts, you probably had to go to Japan and climb the side of a mountain to get a flower that Scarecrow would use to poison Gotham in order to prove your worth, in order to be trained.
Yeah, you had to be Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai and get the snot kicked out of you with a wooden sword.
But they would not.
You know what I mean?
They would not turn you away because you were not one of them. You had to prove like your worth. So
yeah.
And that's exactly what you don't see in Iron Fist.
We're venturing too far out of the Iron Fist circle. So the show is, yes, we pretty much kind of summed it up. He comes back, and it's a slow burn. It's a slow burn of a show that never quite ignites. And that was the thing. I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay, I like the story. The story is good. He comes back after supposedly being dead. He's trying to get his identity back. He's trying to get his life back. But he's the sworn enemy of the Hand. He is the Iron Fist. You find out that he is not fully trained because he left like the day after he got the Iron Fist or something.
Seriously.
The pacing on this show is terrible. The art direction is terrible. The direction in general is terrible, and the fight
I thought
scenes,
you liked the Cuba. What happened?
I like the story. The story is good. It's consistent with the rest of the Marvel Netflix shows story-wise. It felt rushed. And now that The Defenders is coming out in August, I understand why it felt rushed. They had to get that fucking shit out. Because nobody likes Iron Fist. I don't know a single comic book guy who likes Iron Fist. There's a reason. There's a reason that Iron Fist and Luke Cage were teamed up in the 70s, because both of their comics sucked. And they figured, let's take these two shitty comic book characters and throw them together, and that boosted sales for that title. That's the only reason that they're around today.
When I heard there was going to be an Iron Fist for Netflix, and after watching Jessica Jones, Daredevil, and Luke Cage, they all had this general theme. Like, it was their own feel. And Iron Fist looked like it was going to be like its own feel. Like, you expected Netflix to kind of take in that same formula where it had its own 1970s kind of kung fu, the legend continues vibe. Like, it would have been amazing if they did that. But it doesn't. It just comes off like a bland ABC show, and you're like, fuck.
Now, see, I'll say the quality's a little better than ABC, but exactly. The Luke Cage felt like almost like a blaxploitation film. And Jessica Jones,
which is amazing.
Jessica Jones did feel like a good detective thriller. Daredevil was just like Daredevil had more of the ninja martial arts theme feeling to it than this fucking show. This show should have been like just so immersed. The title sequence sucked. What was that piece of shit? Did you see? Have you seen the title sequence, Roy?
I didn't even see that. No.
Okay,
the music is about to drop the beat, and you're like, yeah, something's cool's gonna like go into the title screen. You get like a kick, and it's like,
yeah, but not even that. It's like all like, it's like sort of vaguely Asian-y music, and then like these like black silhouettes of people made of ink or something, and they're like, they're sitting there, they're doing like martial art forms, and it's very slow, and then like the music drops, and then you get a very slow spinning side kick, and then like a crane kick. It's just
like, where was all this action in the actual show?
But it's slow as fuck, and it's all like ink blot people, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. And then that leads us to the fighting in it. It's like every single fight, harkening back to a previous episode, was an uninspired hand job, because they start off with high hopes, and they're kind of cool, and like they kind of build, and they kind of build, and they kind of build, and then they just fall flat.
Yeah, and this storyline not only deals with the Iron Fist, who's like a Kunlun ninja master, it deals with the hand. Like, you are fighting the hand, the thing that we've been kind of hearing about in Daredevil and all these other things. So this should be heavily influenced by kung fu and ninja, and your fighting needs to be on point, quick, and especially in a post-Matrix fucking world. This shit's like 1984, like, not the good kind of fighting. This is like The Last Dragon. I think The Last Dragon had better fighting in this.
Well, like I had said when we talked about this off air, was that all the fighting looked like the practice to the choreographed fighting. It was clearly choreographed, but you know, when you're watching the behind the scenes of a movie and they're going like, all right, 1 and 2 and 3 and kick and now spin, that's what it felt like watching the fighting. But this was the final product.
That was the pace of it. It wasn't fast. So you have the behind the scenes where it's like N1 and 2, like he said, but in the actual show, they're actually still doing that pace. They're not speeding it up and like using muscle memory to just kind of go with it and make it look real and cool.
I've seen better choreographed fighting on fucking YouTube than what was on screen. There was a couple of times where there was some good fights.
Like that Mortal Kombat YouTube video where it was like Scorpion versus Noob Saibot.
Yeah, there was a couple of times where there was some halfway decent fights. In the show, what really sealed the deal with how sucky the fighting was, well, there's two moments. One where he is fighting the guy who fights in a drunken style.
Yeah, I mean, that started off okay. But
again, like, it's an uninspired hand job. All the fights start off okay, and a fight is supposed to build. I mean, come on, Daredevil set the fucking bar when it came to fucking...
In the opening scene.
Yeah, and I didn't think I would ever see more brutal fights than I ever saw in Daredevil. And then the second season of Daredevil came out, and I went, well, they just took that bar and broke it over their fucking knees.
Seriously,
they had to pull they had to actually pull the Punisher to do it too.
Right.
I mean,
and this felt so PG almost. I get it that he doesn't kill, he doesn't really want to hurt anybody. That even in the comics, that's kind of part of his character, so I get that. But even with the other characters, so when he's fighting this drunken master guy, he is the immortal Iron Fist, the sworn protector of Kung Lung and the sworn enemy or destroyer of the Hand. He meets some drunken asshole in front of a door who is the champion of the Hand and the sworn destroyer of the Iron Fist or something. His supposed to be his opposite is what I got from that quick little conversation between them. He's like, he's like, only a fool drinks, it hampers their chi, whatever. And he's like, I drink to contain my power. And it was the most boring fucking fight. Like, he hits him over the head with the bottle. I'm like, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this?
I usually watch the show like while I'm watching dinner, and I got up and I was like going to get seconds. I'm like, fuck this, Jackie Chan, you are not, sir. Like,
the fucking Bo Rai Cho in Mortal Kombat was a way better drunken master than that fucking guy. But just like, They both sucked. They were both like, that had the potential to be such a good fight, and it was just like, is this over yet? Is this fight? I just want to know what comes next in the narrative. Can you just finish
this show? Sum it all up. Like, what could have saved this show would have been choreography with wire work. That would have saved the show. I think absolutely.
Oh, a better director.
Was it bad choreography or lack of the ability on the actor's part? Like, do you think he'd even be able to, if it was good choreography?
No, I think he learned that shit for the show. I think it was just bad directing, because there was so much that could have been cut. The pacing was just very slow, very bad. They would set up plot lines and then just drop them and then pick them up later on, so after you forgot about them, and they just chose. It felt like a college sophomores like movie project. It was
film
just
project, yeah.
It was just not done well. And the second thing, and probably the most disappointing thing of the whole show was, and I think I messaged both of you when I saw this, was the hallway fight. When there's a fight in a hallway in a Marvel Netflix show, you're like, oh shit, it's on now.
Bread and butter.
It's on now. I'm gonna drop my pants and get ready for this. And man,
or an inspired hand job. You know?
Absolutely,
enthusiastic one.
He's trapped in a hallway with his best friend from Kung Lung, who had come to rescue him and take him back. Who also is an amazing. I know you got it's stuck in your mind, isn't it?
Kung Lung. I'm just like, ugh. This doesn't sound like honestly. It besides perversion, it sounds like something that you hacked up and like somebody.
I hacked it up all week.
Like, dude, that's a fucking
I got the Kung
nasty.
Lung in my throat.
Yeah, dude, that's a nasty Kung Lung. It just doesn't sound good.
But
yeah,
so
why?
That's what I caught at Star Wars convention.
Got the Kung Lung. I might have to call this episode "A Case of the Kung Lung." So that he's stuck in the hallway with his best buddy, who is also an amazing fighter, because everybody from this city, they all train their entire lives to be the Iron Fist, but only one person can become the Iron Fist. So they all pretty much have
at a time, right?
Yeah. You have to go face a dragon, apparently, or something. They were very vague about it. But so they all
show him fighting the dragon and taking his heart.
No, they just imply it and show red lights in a cave. But
how can you not show him his whole power is the weirdest yet coolest thing, dude? He takes the immortal heart and power and spirit of a fucking magic dragon. How do you not show that?
I got the impression that it's not a real dragon. By when he's talking about it to people, I get the feeling that it's not a real dragon. And that would be consistent with the Marvel Cinematic Universe of maybe it's some sort of alien or some sort of alien technology or something. I'm sure we'll find out if it gets a second season. But I got the impression that it's not an actual dragon, because he seems almost disappointed when I think someone asks him, was it really a dragon? And I don't think he answers. Something like that. Back to this hallway scene, because it's bullshit, and I'm gonna get this fucking thought out. I'm gonna kung lung this thought out. All right, ready? So he's in the hallway with his fucking friend, and it's dark, like the lights are off, and there's like 10 ninjas on each end of the hallway. And you're like, all right, these are fucking ninjas. Daredevil just like fought dudes, you know, and the Punisher fought prison inmates. These are fucking hand ninjas. This is going to go down. This is going to be some bloody, fucked up shit.
And I think, what was it, Luke Cage, his hallway scene was just ripping pipes out of walls
yeah.
and then beating people with them.
So the fight begins, and it was just, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like...
lazy.
I'm like, is this starting? When is this starting? Why is... When you watch a fight in Daredevil or Luke Cage, you feel the hits. You personally, you feel like you're getting hit. It's that cringing and realistic of a fight. This was just so choreographed, bullshit. Nobody is really getting hurt crap. And it was short, too. It was like, 10 seconds they're fighting in this hallway. And I'm like, man, dude, you cannot put this guy in a hallway after Daredevil and after Luke Cage and hand me this absolute plate of dog shit.
This should have been the moment where they bring out the Inception wall and people start running on the fucking walls. God damn it. Yeah, so each like Netflix show tops the next hallway scene. Even in this trailer, we got a hallway scene like little thing. Like that was like, ooh, this looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all of them fighting in the hallway. And
I don't remember a hallway fight in Jessica Jones. Was there one?
I don't remember a Jessica Jones hallway fight, but I'm sure it's in there. I just wasn't paying attention until now.
But yeah, it was disappointing. I mean, I guess you have to kind of muscle through it just so that because there are important narrative aspects to the overall story that they're telling in these, and it's not so bad where I'm like, man, I never want to see that again. I probably won't watch it again, but it's worth forcing yourself a once through, if nothing else, just so that you're caught up on the story.
Yeah, to get to Defenders, because the trailer for Defenders made me go, ooh, I'm glad I watched Iron Fist for
exactly
sure.
Because he's a big player. He's a big player in it.
I'll have to give it a shot. I mean, honestly, I watched Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and I started Luke Cage, but I never finished it, even though I thought it was really cool.
Fuck, man, dude, Luke Cage is probably like my second favorite one after Daredevil.
Yeah, I actually really, really like Jessica Jones. Didn't think I would because I was like, she's just unlikable, but she's meant to be unlikable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just, and it took me a couple episodes to realize, like, it was just really good acting and really good directing that I'm supposed to dislike her. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, those
Jessica
feelings
Jones
I had.
is my favorite for sure.
They're all, I mean, it's hard to rate them all, but I mean, I think like Daredevil's second season is the best Marvel has ever put out. Then followed that by Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Daredevil's first season, and then this is how I rate them.
I would put that, but it's so fucked up because it's almost like they cheated with season 2 of Daredevil because they have Punisher and he's so awesome. You know what I mean?
Even taking the Punisher out of season 2, just the whole thing, the whole storyline, bringing in Elektra and everything was still
really great. Still great, but honestly, let's not lie. I mean, what's his name? Is it Bernthal? Bernthal?
He's Frank Castle now.
Shane Castle.
Shane Castle.
Yeah, I mean, he stole that whole season.
Definitely,
he really did.
I mean, he wasn't even supposed to. The Punisher wasn't even supposed to have his own show. He got his own show out of that. So I mean, that's pretty fucking good.
He deserves his own fucking show, and that's probably going to be the best one out of them all.
That better be a Hot Shots Part 2 style body count in that movie. Remember that scene where he's just got that like the M60 and he's just killing dudes, and it's like the numbers are going up, and it's like more than Terminator, more than RoboCop. I want to see a fucking body count on the Punisher that is just like insane. Out of any other television show that's ever killed copious amounts of people, Punisher needs to top it.
He needs to go Grizzly John Wick. That's what I want to see. I just want to see an entire season. You know what I mean? Like, who wins, Punisher versus John Wick? Like, have you guys seen the John Wick movie? First one?
The first one.
Yeah. I mean, that's a battle for the ages right there.
I still give the edge to the Punisher because I think he's a little more fucked up.
I'm John Wick, right, all the way. Headshot.
Well, he was Neo in a past life, so what are you gonna, you know?
He's the one. So yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Thanks, Forrest.
Love you, Jenny.
Sights taken.
Next up
Trying
on
to ban
the
ice cream.
next up on the block is I started watching, or I watched the first episode of the new Mystery Science Theater 3000. Anybody on that one?
I tried to watch it, but then I saw that it wasn't the original cast, so I turned it off.
Yeah, but you knew it wasn't there. Did you not know?
I did not know.
You're an idiot.
What do you mean I'm an idiot? They've been doing riff tracks. I figured they had enough clout to.
There's been enough promotion about this. It's called the revival.
I don't watch it.
No, you spend all day watching conspiracy videos and a dude who looks like Peter
SJW nonsense. Philip DeFranco and Francis angry videos.
Anyways, so this is Mystery Science Theater 3000, the revival, and I knew it was going to be a different cast, but I love it. I absolutely love it. It's if you're a fan of the original, and even if you're a fan of the original, it always comes down to, are you a Joel guy or are you a Mike guy? There's not a single person that likes both of them. I've never found someone who likes both of them. It's really where you came in on the show. If you came in on the show when it first started, you'll love Joel and you hate Mike. If you came in during the Mike years and then went back to watch Joel years, you hate Joel. So I think that's funny. And now this show will now throw in a new person for the geek debates of Jonah is the new guy. And what I love about this show is that it's like a continuation of the old show. The new evil Professor Forrester is the granddaughter of Pearl. Pearl was the mother of the original mad scientist. And Patton Oswalt is in it, and he is the son of TV's I forgot the character's name, but he's the son of the original mad scientist assistant from the Joel years. So they're totally playing on that. And Mike and the original robots, if you ever watched the very last episode of the original series, the satellite of love crashed on Earth, and they live together in a house in like Wisconsin or something and riff on movies on a tiny TV is how the show ended. So this one, they've rebuilt the satellite of love, and they've tricked Jonah into landing and capturing him, and now they shot him up into the satellite of love. And I like that they explain sort of why like the robots are different. You know, they explain why Noah's here because he's a different dude. Jonah, sorry, my bad. Why Jonah's there because he's a different guy. And it's not the same voice for the robots. And at first, that really threw me off. I'm like, man, dude, that's not Tom Servo. That's not Crow. The dude who's doing Tom Servo doesn't sound like Tom Servo. And the guy doing Crow sounds like a bad Crow impression. So it really threw me off. But he's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I turned it off because I was like, no, I can't do this. I'll go back to watching my riff tracks.
See, I wanted to turn it off, but I kept with it, and it's funny because he's like, oh yeah, he's like, I put these robots back together and I gave them upgrades, so now Tom Servo like flies around a lot. He's got like little anti-gravity lifts and stuff like that, and he's like, oh, what'd you give to me? What'd you give to me? And he's like, new voice or something like that. It kind of makes fun of himself. And Gypsy has a completely different voice. Like she comes down out of like the pipes and she's like, hey guys, how you guys doing? And he's like, yeah, and I replaced her voice because I wanted something of more of a Midwestern feel. It's just, so it's just funny how they do that. And then when they actually get in and start watching the movie, it is fucking funny. I every once in a while I'll go back and I'll watch some Mystery Science Theater, and half the time you're just like, but this first episode at least of this new show, the writing is on point. There's a good many amount of times that I sat there and I actually laughed because it was funny, and they're pretty on point. And it's funny enough that it makes you accept the new voices. It's weird. Again, Mike is still my favorite because I came in during the Mike years. I hated Joel. I'm sorry for anybody who listens and loved Joel during the MST3K. I hated Joel. When I went back to watch Joel's episodes, his impression, he was a big impression guy. Where Mike was more of a sarcastic, I'm making a comment on what I'm watching. I think probably because that's more of what I like to do when I riff a movie. I'm more like Mike than Joel. Noah is almost a little step between both of them. He kind of does a little bit of impressions, but he comments not as sarcastically as Mike, but just very dry. So dry to the point that it's pretty funny. And like I said, they're on point, and they also keep everything is made like the little the little shitty paper mache popsicle stick props and stuff like their original show. You know, no, there's no CG to make anything look better. It's all original little puppets and fucking miniatures. And they even still have the fucking commercial break segments where they come out of the movie and then do a little stupid thing and then they go back into the movie. So they're being completely faithful to the spirit of the show. And I have to tip my hat to them. I have to tip my hat to them because it's funny and they're doing a good honorable job to this.
I'll have to check it out. Like I've been putting stuff in the background. Like I just put Friends on in the background while I'm working.
Turn your Skype off now.
I never saw Friends. I need to like at least know what I'm talking about when people say shit. I need to know references. But
I can't stand Friends. Any of it.
I got to season 2, and like you can definitely tell production budgets increased and the writing got better.
But it's the most vanilla white person show ever.
Yeah, was there ever a black person on Friends?
First season, I've been trudging through season 1. It was awful, but like I said, I put it on the background just to kind of get through it. And season 2 definitely picked up, and the writing got funnier, and it got a little bit more edgy with like actual jokes that are funny.
No, it didn't.
Maybe I'm just.
You know what? My parents like Friends. Just chew on that.
See.
You know what? I'll take Frasier over Friends.
Well, Frasier was witty. Frasier was witty.
You know, it was like a dry, witty humor to it. Friends was just fucking. The only thing it had was it had some pretty broads to look at, and that's it. It had Poon. That's it. I mean, the fuck.
I don't know. A lot of people I know have seen Friends. Sucked. It's kind of like Sex in the City. How every chick you know has seen Sex in the City. It's like everyone I know has seen Friends, but I haven't seen any of it. So I don't know.
Because I don't know people who actually liked Friends.
Oh, hipster white people that like Friends.
Well, Cuba would love it.
I'm not.
That's all ironic.
Hipster white person.
You are a hipster in denial, which is the worst kind of hipster.
I'm not a hipster. How am I a hipster? You're more of a fucking hipster than me, you fucking culotta drinking fucking yet ball. It's a new one, yeah. Fucking hips. Call it Mr. Starbucks.
No, see, Cuba isn't.
Starbucks just has better coffee.
I'll give him that. I like that new Nitro coffee. What am I?
You're not a hipster. You're a contrarian. You just go against the grain just because.
I'll go with that.
Yeah. He's not a hipster. If you say something's good, he's gonna be like, I don't like that. I don't know. I'm gonna.
Contrarian's a good one. I like that. I rescind my hipster.
All right, good
denotation of you, Cuba. You're a fucking contrarian.
I mean, if anybody in this group
contrarian,
if anybody in this group is a hipster, it's definitely you. I mean, you're the closest to. If anybody was gonna have a fucking man bun here, it'd be you.
Says the man who substitutes chicken on his pizza. Okay.
Those are health reasons. I never had a piercing over my eyebrow because I was the only one in the world who thought it was cool.
Yeah, but then again, Cuba, you did gel your hair the other day to go fishing, so that says something right there. I saw that picture. You had gel, dude. Unless that's just natural Cuban sheen. Grease.
That's coconut oil that I put in my hair to keep it healthy.
You put coconut oil in your hair?
Yes, it keeps your hair and your scalp healthy.
He really does. He almost has a pompadour. You know what I mean?
Who, me or him?
I mean, don't get me both of you. I mean, you look like a greasy. You look like a Cuban foreign greaser from the 50s.
You don't even know what Cubans look like. If I didn't tell you I was Cuban, you'd never know.
And Aaron looks like a really tall lesbian transgender. So, I'm only saying this because I'm the only one without fucking hair. So.
You're just jealous.
It is funny because in the dark being lit by the screen, I mean, you totally have an egg head. Like it's a total. You have like a fucking Humpty Dumpty going because you can't see.
You're just angry because your head looks like a toe.
A bearded toe. Yes.
I'm gonna take what hair falls off like in the shower and collects around the drain, and I'm gonna glue it to an egg. And I'm gonna put some googly eyes on it, and that's you. That's gonna be. That's gonna be you.
And the video. This is for the people who actually see the video. Your goatee. It looks like you're the evil version of yourself. Like you're from the Dark Universe. And you got that goatee, like Star Trek universe.
Well, he's been like refining it to a point very slowly for like at least a couple years now.
I could trim it to a point. I've been rounding it off lately, but I could easily get it to a point. It's from the side. It comes down flat because I like the whole Leonidas style straight going down. You know what I mean? But you guys are just mad because you guys have all this scruff and I have this. So go screw yourselves. I might not have hair on my head, but I got it on my face and on my balls. Kiss my ass, which has hair on it too. So kiss it.
Me, you don't manscape? What are you talking about? Jesus.
I manscape.
Manscape doesn't mean waxing.
I do.
Manscape just means like keeping it bearable for your lady and or your guy if you so choose that way.
Hey, no, I keep it whacked down. Of course, you got it.
Yeah. Especially now that it's getting warm out. And that he's insistent on wearing jeans.
Me?
All right, what's your next topic, Cuba? We don't need to get on fucking sweaty balls.
We're talking about grooming. This is a podcast about many things, and geeks need to know how to groom.
And if you ain't grooming, then you ain't doing it right.
If you ain't grooming,
2017.
You ain't grooming.
The sexes are equal now.
Yeah, just use an electric shaver. That's all you need. You don't need to go straight metal razor.
Ooh,
I don't know what you guys do, but I'm not up for cold.
I tried that when I was younger, and the grow back is not pleasant.
That's why you won't see me.
That's like the worst 2 weeks of my life.
The nose hair trimmer that has the attachment. You got one of those.
No, dude, because you leave that on your sink.
Ew.
I've seen it. That's gross.
No, there's different attachments, you goober.
I was gonna say I've seen like little shavers and stuff outside on your sink. I'm like, dude, I can't. I wash my hands in that sink after I take a piss.
No, because Courtney has one for her. Courtney has one for her head, and then I got another one for.
When I use his
bathroom, you only own one of those.
Dude, when I use his bathroom, I don't wash my hands. I go to his kitchen sink to wash my hands because your bathroom is fucking gross. No matter where you live, like your sink is gross.
Look at
your
him.
Toilet is yellow and brown. It's fucking gross.
I live in a mill building which has the fucking oldest pipes in the world, and I used to live in a renovated old school, so my pipes are always gross, rusty, and hard.
It's called fucking bleach, you motherfucker. Wash it with
dude,
bleach.
It's not the mill pipes, it's your organic pipes that are the fucking problem. It's all that Taco Bell and shit that you eat.
All that Taco Bell and Mountain Dew that's fucking corroded your toilet bowl.
Man, it's all that. It's your insides staining it.
Gross.
What else we got on the docket besides shaving balls and shit stains?
Mass Effect Andromeda. It has been a while, at least a month since we had our Mass Defect episode. A lot's happened. Yes. A patch was released, and honestly, until 2 nights ago, when you sent videos of something that you were complaining about, I forgot the game existed. It's sad to say that Mass Effect was that forgettable. I mean, when Mass Effect 3 came out, I feel that just had a lingering power about it.
It's at $40 now at GameStop. It's ridiculous.
Wow, really?
Mass Effect Andromeda?
Yeah.
Damn.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So why don't you give us an update on that? What you think since the patch? What was the patch? Your complaints as of last night?
So sad to say I haven't beaten it yet, but I know I see a lot of people who have, so I'm still trying to avoid spoilers on it because everyone's like, "Oh, my thoughts on Mass Effect," because I'm on a couple fan pages that like Mass Effect or are about Mass Effect, so they constantly talk about, who's your favorite character and what's your favorite portion of the ending, that kind of shit. So I've been trying to avoid it, but it goes in the BioWare direction that they did with Dragon Age Inquisition, where the main story's there, or even like the Fallout, the main story's there, but you don't really feel compelled to go to the main story. It's just a lot of useless side missions, which bums me the fuck out. I mean, when you go to the main missions, it is kind of okay, but it's not compelling me to want to learn more and see how it progresses. There's no there's no angst. There's no conflict.
There's no drive. There's no driving force to get you to the end result there.
Exactly. So, I'm having fun playing in the sandbox and running around and seeing what exists in the world. So that's kind of cool. But
you just compared it to Fallout, and I feel that Fallout's there wasn't like a dumb side mission in Fallout. Like every single, you can tell that Fallout was built for the side missions. I feel they purposely make their main mission just an uninteresting piece of crap because they want you to go and explore all the cool shit that they hid in this world.
That's what Mass Effect tries to do. They try and make those side missions interesting, but they never quite reach the, I want to learn more kind of shit. It's always like me skipping through the dialogue because I don't need it. Just give me the points.
Is there any funny dialogue, like witty things, little silly things, background characters making jokes? And that was one of the cool things about Mass Effect 2 and 3 is walking past characters and just listening to their conversations amongst themselves. Yeah,
there's a lot of that. So like if you're in the Nomad with a couple characters, they'll banter back and forth to some funny shit. PB is very like sexual, so she has a lot of sexual humor. Which is strange because they made her look like she's literally like a kid. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like in everything I saw, she has like. I'm trying to remember what was her. Yeah. Remember Liara? She was pretty. She was attractive. You could tell she was like a woman.
They made Liara cute,
but she was hot. You know what I mean? At the same time, but PB is she seems like she's a kid, which really I don't know. There was something about like her face. It's just very round, like a child. You know what I mean?
So yeah, Mass Effect like tries to go that route of telling interesting side quests, but yeah, it doesn't quite reach the urgency or like the fundamental yearning of me wanting to know more. It's just like, okay, I can get some extra points over here. Maybe I'll get something cool out of it, which is kind of a letdown. But it is still fun to explore, just like even driving around the planets and doing that kind of stuff.
What about the patch? Because they released the patch that shrunk everybody's eyes to not creepy proportions.
I don't know about that.
Well, it really more added just. Well, it's not that it made them smaller. It added more texture within them as far as lighting, like shadow and whatnot. Because if you looked at it, the whites of everybody's eyes were so stark in comparison to the rest of it that's what made everybody look like they had demon eyes. Now, when I saw some before and after, and Aaron will get into it in a second, whether or not he saw that. But it looked a lot better in the stills. It looked like they went in and they actually added so the eyes didn't look flat. They looked like an actual curved surface with, like it was actually, like it had texture. Like an eyeball doesn't look flat. You know what I mean?
They added the shadow from the top down so it actually had like some weight to it. Dimension.
Exactly. That's the perfect weight and dimension is the perfect way to put that.
So does that work for you? Was that?
Yeah, it definitely improved a lot of like when I watched the movie sequences. They definitely improved some of the dialogue, the automated dialogue, so that the gestures kind of go along with the dialogue a lot better. They fixed the intro scene with the faces tired lady. That was a big improvement. Like they actually added an acting like scene in that instead of everyone just standing still. For the most part, all that stuff's definitely improved. It's not fantastic, but it's definitely improved from what it was.
Do they still all look like they're wrapped in plastic?
I mean, kinda, a little bit. They might have fixed that, but I haven't really noticed a difference between before and after that. Let's see. All of the characters really suck. Okay, so like I said, I've heard a lot of people say they beat it, and after they beat it, they're excited for what the series has to offer. So it's kind of giving me a little bit of hope that this is going to turn out good in the end. But I'm running around the ship, and I'm starting to do all the loyalty missions. I think I've done 3 so far. So I'm starting to get to know the crew a bit more. And I fucking hate most of the goddamn crew. Like the main guy, Liam, the black dude who's like skinny, he was like presenting himself like his butt all the time, or he was shirtless every time I went to go in. I'm like, dude, you're embarrassing yourself. Like, quit it. And he talks like an asshole, like an idiot asshole actor speaking into a microphone. He doesn't sound like a character. That's one thing that Mass Effect 1 through 3 got right, was their actors were on point with their character. like you believed that their character was real or invested in their backstory, that type of shit. I skip through most of the people because I just don't want to hear what they have to say. I'm just trying to get some kind of mission or whatever the fuck out of it. And that Liam guy is the friggin' worst. He's just like one of the main fight scenes at the very beginning. You're shooting the bad guys, and he goes, "Oh, he looked pissed, probably because I shot him in the face." Like,
oh yeah, I remember hearing that.
I remember. Yeah,
are seeing a species for the first time ever, like a new species in a new galaxy, and you're talking like a fucking asshole. What do you like? Yeah, they're trying to kill you, but maybe you should have some like, oh god, like, oh, I hope we get out of this, like some urgency to you, not like maybe because I shot him in the face.
Sounds like a high school jock.
And you know the old shepherd thing where he's like, I have to go, and he leaves.
Yeah.
This guy, it's a little bit more natural. He's like, oh, I'll talk to you later. And this guy goes, you know it. What? Every time it pisses me off. It's so aggravating. Let's see. Vetra is the female. What's Garrus' species there? Turian. The female Turian, like, she's okay. And Drac is the Krogan. He feels like he's trying to rip off every Krogan that came before him. He doesn't feel like his own character. I don't know, man. PB is definitely one of the better characters. She plays that flirty female very well.
But you have another complaint about the Asari, because you keep sending videos on of you playing the game to us.
This really pisses me off, and it like to the point where I'm like, fuck you, because you lazy pieces of shit. So throughout the game, I've been playing for a good several weeks now, and every Asari I come across, besides PB, has this face. It's the same face. It's a round face. The nose is too high, Miss Piggy-ish fucking nose up here. It's the same model. It's the same fucking computer model every single time. And I'm like, I mean, I get it. I'm on a different planet, and maybe you couldn't make different characters for the Asari or whatever. And then I'm on my third loyalty mission or third mission, main mission, and it's to find the Asari Ark. And so every character is a fucking Asari.
And they all have the same face?
5 Asaris on screen, they all got the same fucking face. Pisses me the fuck up. I'm so angry now. I'm like, I was getting invested in the game. Like, ooh, this is like I'm starting to really like this. Getting going, doing some cool missions, story missions, getting the story flowing a bit, and you fuck it up with your goddamn lazy modeling. You pieces of shit.
That is really fucking lazy, because I mean, I would say that even though the Asari are all blue females in the original 3 games, they did a really good job of making them all feel like different people, making them pretty diverse.
Yeah.
I mean, even the Krogan, when you're like on the Krogan homeworld, you get the impression of every Krogan being an individual Krogan, and you could tell in the original Mass Effect, you could tell when they were being lazy and or budget constraint, because non-important characters would be wearing like a mask.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the only species that gets away with that is the Geth. Yeah,
the Geth, exactly. The jellyfish people.
But not even that. Like I can let it go for the one individual Asari that you see per planet that you talk to. But when you get to a main story mission where the fucking main characters are all Asari, you pieces of shit. This shows that you are lazy motherfucking pieces of shit. And it pisses me off. It pisses me off to no end if you can't tell. I'm a little angry that you gave me the same ugly ass, pig-faced shrew of a circle-headed Asari.
Well then. I love it. Damn. I can't wait to hear an update again in another week or so. Thank you.
Did you get the other glitch I sent you last night where PB died, but then somehow she resurrected and she's standing over her dead body? That didn't go away. That arrow that shows the little health bar that you need to revive someone never went away, but yet PB was with me the whole fucking time. So they didn't fix everything. That's what I'm trying to say.
I look forward to hearing an update. Maybe you'll finish it by the next time we check in on it. So, Mass Effect Andromeda. It's worth
$40.
Is it worth $40? I mean,
it's worth $40.
Roy and I, we are actually playing a quality game.
Fuck you.
Crucial quality. Have you started?
All right. Well, technically, so Roy's playing.
Should I turn off my headphones now? Because I don't want to hear this. I want to play that game.
Yeah, shut up. You're gonna hear this. Roy and I. So Roy's playing the game. I'm not playing it. My wife's actually playing the game, and I wish I could get her down here and give her thoughts on it, but she can't come down because of baby right now. So I mean, maybe another time if I can get a babysitter or someone to come and take the kid for like an hour or something, I could have her come down and give what her thoughts are on it. But I can give my thoughts based on watching her, because I've watched her play nearly. I don't think she's as far as you are, Roy. We're talking about Horizon Zero Dawn on PlayStation 4, and fuck, if this doesn't get Game of the Year, then a fucking crime has been committed.
It's that good.
It really is. And I think we've mentioned briefly before just how beautiful the game is. It is just stunningly beautiful. But then the amount of detail that they've put into this game. You know, your one of your complaints about Mass Effect is that you're doing a mission and all 5 Asari you have the same fucking face. Dude, the Horizon they put so much fucking thought and detail. I have not run into a character that has a same face, that has like the same like character model, just, you know, palette swapped. Every single person is a unique individual, is a unique person.
The merchants, even though if you look at the merchants who don't have speaking roles or anything like that, even them, like they change from place to place. I haven't run across 2 merchants that are the same.
Right,
people.
it's crazy, and the gamut of people is super diverse. You from white people, Asian people, black people, brown people. All of humanity is represented in this game, and they are all uniquely different and detailed.
Right. Now, the only thing I will comment on, I won't get into, it's not like a huge controversy, it's just an article that I read about how future video games can take that from this game and say, see, you can do stories with multiple diverse casts and it's not shoehorned in. But they don't. What that article missed is that this game, when you realize the setting and the plot and where this game takes place and everything like that, there's a reason for why there's so many different people. It compared The Witcher, which I think only The Witcher 3 only had 1 or 2 black people or something like that, which kind of in a way makes sense because it's based on a northern Scandinavian tale type thing. You know what I mean? Based on a white guy who named Geralt or something like that kills monsters. So obviously up north in the wastelands, the frozen lands of fucking Denmark and shit, there wasn't a whole lot of black people. There just wasn't.
Right. Well, there was none.
Right. But in Horizon, there's a very specific reason of what, it takes place after. If I tell you the setting, are you gonna cry?
Yeah, no. I would. We'll go no spoilers because I think that's one finding out the setting is one of the fun aspects of the game, and it makes sense why there is so much diversity besides taking place.
Really, that just harkens back to what you were saying before about with Iron Fist about how it has to make sense within the actual story frame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just a little aside, but it is a very diverse cast. The voice acting for the most part is really, really good. Aaron, can you hear us? Pull on your things. We're not.
I can hear you.
Yeah, but we're not doing spoilers. There's no spoilers. Yeah. He's got his headphones off. He's like, no.
The voice acting is really solid. There are times where you can tell that the motions on some characters really kind of weren't done as well as others. There's a handful of characters that there's on a side mission. There's an Asian girl that I don't know what the fuck they did, but it was perfect. Cuba, you know what I'm talking about. But the voice syncing isn't exact.
Yeah,
they do a good job.
I mean, the acting is pretty decent. Sometimes the lips don't quite match what is being said, and with everything else, that's such a minor thing that can be overlooked. And
that's why this game is a game that you have to nitpick, not because not because it deserves to be nitpicked, but because there's no major faults in it.
Well, like I said, my wife is the one who's playing the game, and she brought up a really good observation. And it's the character you play, Aloy. She talks to herself a lot. It's part of it is she's out in the field.
The way she grew up and stuff.
Yeah, part of it is it's like, well, you need to have the player know, something. You're gonna say, oh, there's one of those over there or something like that. How else is the game gonna get your attention, kind of realistically? But in universe, it makes sense because she grew up as an outcast with nobody allowed to talk to her except for the fucking guy that raised her. So it would make sense that she talks to herself out loud a lot. And I think that I'm like, that's actually a pretty cool little detail that they threw in there, making that part of the game.
Yeah, one thing I also really like, and I can't believe it took me so long. I don't. You probably already noticed this, but of course you can already tell her name Aloy is just one letter off from being the word alloy.
Yeah.
But then her adoptive father's name, or whatever you want to call him, is Ross, which is one letter away from rust.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't realize that until literally, like, I visited one later point, halfway through the game. I was like, she said his name. I was like, holy shit, that sounds like Rust. And, obviously it's a game that's based around metal and machines and stuff.
Yep.
So I just thought it was a really nice touch, but I felt like an idiot once I realized.
Yeah, a lot of little clever shit in the game. And what do you think? What do you think of the controls and everything? I only played around with it really quickly. Liz is playing it, and as a side note, it's very funny and amusing watching her play the game because she is more of a PC gamer, so she gets like frustrated and like confused when it comes to console gaming, especially on a game like this where you have to utilize every fucking button on the controller. So when a machine
go ahead, sorry.
When a machine is charging at her, it's you press X or square something, and you can dodge and roll out of the way. She's constantly pressing the wrong button, so she's always getting fucking kicked in the hooves and shit like that. And she's just, fuck, I pressed the wrong fucking button.
Yeah, it's the controllers are actually, I feel, are pretty intuitive, especially it's very you use a bow as your main weapon. Mm-hmm. You have all sorts of different arrows, and it's also pretty melee heavy at times, but it's pretty intuitive. I mean, it's left trigger to ready the bow, and then to pick it up and aim, and then right trigger to pull the string back, and then you release it to let fly the arrow.
And it's pretty easy to not shoot the arrow if you've got it all ready. Because there's some games where the bow and arrow playing, it's like once you have the arm back, it's like you're committed and you can't not shoot that arrow. So I like that. It's pretty easy to go, oh no, that's not my shot, and you just crawl away.
The reason the bow feels so intuitive is because when you think about using a bow in real life, you think of raise your left arm, grab your string with your right hand, pull it back, and then let it go. Which is the same thing you do with your with the controller. You hold down with your left hand, that's like picking it up, and then pulling the string back with your right trigger. You know what I mean? And then if you want to not shoot, you just put the bow down.
Right.
So you just let go of the left trigger. It just, the way they did it, it's very, very subtle, but it feels supernatural once you get into into it. It feels perfect.
Yeah. Not supernatural as in ghosts, but super.
Yeah, that's why.
Natural.
Yeah. I know, it's supernatural. I know. I realized after I said it that I said it best. The controls otherwise feel really good. A couple small tweaks I would make. I feel like there was I wish it was a crawl option, because I just came off of before this. I was playing Metal Gear.
You mean get on the floor and crawl is what you mean?
Yeah, I want a crawling like a Metal Gear crawl. Okay. Like a full army crawl, which I can understand with the world so big. Again, it's just nitpicking, but I would love the idea of playing even more with this line of sight with the machine dinosaurs and animals and stuff like that. So if you're crawling through slightly taller grass, they still might not see you. But they pulled so many elements from different games and wedged it into this one that I can see why they didn't. It's too difficult. You can only bring in so many different things,
So also, in contrast to Mass Effect, this game, the storyline is fucking intriguing. I mean, not only are all the side missions fun to do, but the main story is just fucking you want to know more. You're like, I need to know what happens next. There is a mystery going on. There's so much, and it's very compelling. It's It's probably the most.
Must be nice.
It is. It's definitely one of the most compelling, main storylines that I've seen in a long time. So that's another very cool aspect of it. And then and the world is vast, not only in scale. When you like zoom out on the world map, you go, oh shit, whoa, it's gonna take me a month to get there. But the different cultures in this world, they're not generic at all. They are all very well thought out. I mean, they're different in their customs and their religion and their beliefs and everything like that. There was a lot of thought that went into it, and that's really that's like one of the coolest things I think of the game. How your tribe is called the Nora, and I would say they're probably like more on the primitive end compared to.
They're called savages in by other characters.
From what I saw, it
right.
looked like Battlefield Earth.
A little bit, yeah. Like they're almost caveman, like not caveman, but like, they're definitely primitive compared to. I forget the Karja. They're like a bigger empire. They worship the sun. They wear like armor. But I like there was in one of the lines of dialogue with a Karja. There was a war that had happened. And but everybody's at peace now. And I like one of the little bits of dialogue was someone from the Karja that you're speaking about your tribe, the Nora, was like, yeah, the Nora. It was said that for every one Nora that a Karja soldier had killed, the Nora killed like 3 Karja soldiers or something like that.
Yeah,
it's implied that like you are fucking tough motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So you might be primitive.
There's a reason
you don't want to be fucked with.
In this story, there's a reason why the Karja stopped trying to take over Nora lands.
Oh, see, I haven't gotten that far. But
I'm sorry. Well, it's not a huge thing. It's a throwaway line.
Spoiler,
it's not a giant plot point or anything like that. Another thing that this game does really, really well is it's the best way to put it. You feel like a major sense of accomplishment when you do something. Like there's different machines of different sizes. You've got small, medium, and large type machines.
Oh, those flying ones are a bitch. Just
the flying ones.
Yeah.
The flying ones, yeah.
They look like
the fucking little ones?
No, the giant dragon-looking things.
The storm birds that shoot lightning.
Yeah, those motherfuckers.
They're difficult. So you've got small, medium, and large, and they all different. Every machine has different ways to take them down. Some are vulnerable to fire or lightning or melee or any different types of factors and elements in the game. But when you take down, like, the first few minutes of the game or the first opening area, it's pretty easy, and you can die. But once you progress a little bit, maybe like 10% of the way to the game, it just throws you the fuck in there. And you
really are like into the wilds at that point.
It's the difficulty doesn't scale up to what you're at. If you go, there's some places where you go where you just can't win it.
Right, yeah.
Like you will just get fucked up no matter what you do.
Well, it even says you need to be like a level 23 to like do that.
Well, you don't have to be.
Well, no, but
it's recommended.
Yeah.
You don't have to. The first time you take down, it's all right. I just took down a Thunderjaw for the first time last night. A Thunderjaw is basically a giant robotic T-Rex with laser disc cannons on its hips, a laser gun for a mouth. It shoots like 3 different. It's got a machine gun on it, and it can stomp you and kill you in like 2 hits. And I'm dodging and weaving, and I am doing as best. And I was on a sliver left, and there's a thing called concentration where you hit the left stick, I believe it is, and slow down time. And I did that just as he was coming at me, doing this lunge, like, and I just hit him with a tear blast arrow, and it hit him, went bong, and took off just the last bit of health he had, and he died at my feet, and I felt so fucking badass. I really did. Like, I put my controller down, and my heart was racing, and I was like, I felt like doing the Arnold scream from Predator. And the fact that you're doing it as Aloy, who's literally like a redheaded stepchild, like a redheaded stepchild outcast, makes it just that much better.
As a character, she's a great character too.
She really is. She's the perfect example of how to do a female character right. It can be done. You know,
Mhm.
it just this game does a really good job, and then you'll feel that feeling with any major because these are just wild machine creatures that kind of roam the land. So they regenerate and whatnot. But every time you take down one of those things, you feel good about it
because
you
they're
feel
so
like you
fucking
really
hard to
accomplished
take down. I mean, even the
yeah,
ones
but-
that you get used to be able to take down, when there's like a bunch of them, like the razor tooth or whatever the fuck they are. I mean, there's like a fucking pack of those guys.
The sawtooth of the scrappers.
Yeah, it's
Well, see, this game will reward you for forward thinking. Like you can lay traps.
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
there's
Liz relies
tripwires
heavily
you
on
can
traps.
Yeah, so you can like lay down tripwires, and you can like lure them over by calling to them, and they'll come at you and stuff like that. But then there's other ones called Watchers, which are like raptors, which will like talk to other machines and let them know where you are and whatnot. It's pretty cool. It's a really, really good game. Highly recommended.
Good
I think
AI.
for people, I've come across some glitches.
Oh, everything has glitches, but
yeah,
for the most part, the machine AI is pretty good. Aaron, you need to get a PlayStation 4 and get on this shit because I'm not even exaggerating. Game of the year. This has to be.
Well,
game of the
I think
year.
it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be between this and Breath of the Wild.
You
know what I mean?
All right, so I can't. I love Zelda, and I don't have a Nintendo, so I can't speak to the Breath of the Wild. But visually alone, it doesn't hold a fucking candle to this game.
Oh, not at all. But
So-
the one thing that I will say that the game does have, from what I've read and seen, is the manipulation of the environment and the way you can climb anything. You can like traverse like any mountain. Like in Breath of the Wild, if you see a place, you can climb it.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like you just climb straight up the face of a mountain, and if it rains, it gets too slippery and you'll like fall and shit.
Yeah, that's kinda
And this
cool,
game,
but still.
yeah, and Horizon does have like a more traditional, like you're boxed in by like a mountain range, and like if you try to go too far, she'll be like, oh well, I can't leave my homeland just yet.
Right.
So you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you can't leave the
It's
area.
it's open world, but they do limit you to an extent.
Yeah, which I hate that in a way. I know it's impossible, but it's like if I see something I want to go to, it's just like that feeling. You know what I mean? So highly recommended. I want you to play it, Cuba, like yourself, just so you can get like a sense of.
Like I said, I played with it a little bit. I didn't do anything crazy. And maybe when she's done with it, I'm just enjoying watching her play it through. Just to see the storyline and the fucking beauty of the game, and chuckle a little bit when she's yelling because there's too many dinosaurs attacking her and she's pressing the wrong button.
I messaged her on Facebook like last week. I was like, "Hey, Cuba told me you're playing Horizon Zero Dawn. What do you think?" And I was like pestering her about it. You know what I mean? I was like, she hates the flying ones, I think is what she said.
Yeah, she had like just come to those ones.
Yeah.
I was sitting there. She was like, all right. She's like hiding in a bush. She's like, all right, let me see this. Your little thing on your ear tells you like their weak points and shit like that. So I think she it flew kind of low. She shot like a fire arrow at like the canister and goes like tink. And then it didn't even take like a blink of the fucking thing's life, and then it swooped down and hovered right overhead. And she's sitting there going, and it's fucking hilarious. She's sitting there going on the couch going, "Oh god, oh god, oh god, bad idea! Oh god, oh god."
The reason I'm laughing is because I did the same exact thing when I came across a Stormbird for the first time. I was like, oh shit, and I was like, pretty much said that bad idea, as I'm like trying to run away. It's so good. Aaron, you got to get on this.
Yeah,
I want to play it along with Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us 2. So
I hope this review makes you hate Mass Effect Andromeda even more.
I zoned out. I didn't want to hear any of it.
See, this game actually, I'm all about the single player story experience. My favorite game is The Last of Us and this, and games like that, like a strong narrative. I don't need like multiple branching paths or anything like that, or multiplayer, or give me a solid film narrative and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is actually a game that I wouldn't mind seeing a horde mode multiplayer in or something like that. Like if it's a DLC and me and Cuba could, the three of us, like the machines are so tough at points that the idea of three people teaming up to take down like a super Thunderjaw or something like that is awesome to me.
That would actually be pretty cool because you come across, you come across groups of people trying to take a large machine down from time to time, and it's like your job to save them, and you single-handedly have to take this fucking thing down. But yeah, I think that'd be a fun multiplayer experience with some of the larger, tougher ones. Is like a team effort trying to do it.
Exactly, and you would have to, you could incorporate the fact that somebody has to plan and like I said, laying down traps and whatnot.
I wonder if this will be like a reverse trend, like in if the sequel, if they'll do a multiplayer to it, as opposed to how Titanfall came out and it was strictly multiplayer, and Battlefield came out and it was strictly multiplayer. People complained there was no single player campaign, and then the sequels they put in a single player campaign. It'd be interesting if they do the opposite with this. In the sequel, they put in a multiplayer campaign.
Maybe. I think
if
it's
the
more likely
still good enough.
No, I'm sure the narrative, I don't see it suffering if it's like the same team that does it. I mean, I don't even know if it can have a sequel. None of us have seen the ending yet, but
I'm sure it can. I mean, this is not.
Has it been spoiled for you, Roy? King of spoilers.
No, hasn't.
Okay,
I've actually very specifically stayed away from spoilers regarding this game. Even if I'm like, in this age of the internet, everybody's done it. When you get specifically really, really stuck on a part, you're like, I guess I'll game fax it. You know what I'm saying? And like you check, and then you read, you scroll down, find it, and you're like, oh okay, that's it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We've all done it. We've all done it at some point. This game, I've done none of that. I've spent 15 minutes screaming, what the fuck do I do at myself? And because it wasn't obvious at all. Like, I'm like, how the hell do I get up there? They have this big thing over here where it looks obvious that you're supposed to climb up, and it wouldn't let me. No matter how much time I jumped around it and hit X and try to interact with things. But then on the far side, after like 15 or 20 minutes, I noticed it was like a little ledge. I was like, boop. And then I was like able to climb all the way up. I was pulling what little hair I have left out. You know what I mean? But it feels so good when you accomplish something in this game. Taking down bandit camps and stuff like that. It all feels really, really good. It feels like it has weight and dimension, like something, one of you guys said earlier about Mass Effect Eyes, but it lacked. This game has everything in spades.
So, final thoughts on anything, gentlemen? Aaron?
No. Go play Horizon. Aaron, you get a PlayStation 4. Fucking do it. Do it now.
Bye.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's just like, I like you guys. Your game is better than mine.
well, Cuba, where can they find us?
They can find us at modernretrocast.com. I don't exactly know when this episode will air, so if you go before the new website is up, the old website is still there. It's missing a lot of images because a lot of things have been deleted to make way for new things, but you can still stream us, and you can still find the links to our iTunes and various podcasting streaming sites. We are on YouTube. What have you added to the YouTube lately, Aaron?
My interview, some clips from the previous episodes, and yeah, that's about it.
Any unboxings coming up, or did you got no more boxes?
Yes, I should be getting the second Stanley box in pretty soon, and at some point the Mass Effect Andromeda box, powered by Loot Crate, is coming in June or July.
Yeah.
Hey, what about don't you have like Nerd Block? Don't you do Nerd Block, or is that just
not anymore?
No?
I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of boxes, we're gonna do a mystery box at some point, right?
We do. We have a mystery box promo coming out soon. It's not a subscription box. We just one of you lucky listeners will be able to win a box full of shit from us, and it's actually not shit because we haven't finalized what's going into it yet, and we haven't finalized what you have to do to win it yet. But the stuff that we've been talking about throwing into it is actually some pretty quality stuff. It's just stuff that we don't particularly want for ourselves, but you might think it's cool. I mean, you probably will think it's cool. It'll probably be better than anything you're gonna get in a Loot Crate or a Nerd Block. But,
so we don't know what they're gonna have to do yet.
No, we're gonna finalize that very soon. So
send nudes. Send nudes.
Yeah, well,
just dick pics.
One of the items in the box will be a torn piece of notebook paper that says "Send nudes" in Roy's handwriting.
I'll do it.
But by the next episode,
it'll be a nude of me.
By our next recording, we'll have that nailed down, and we'll we'll give you more details of what you have to do to win that one right there. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for the new website. Check out our videos on YouTube. And go buy a PlayStation 4 and play Horizon Zero Dawn because you're missing out. Have a good night, everybody. This has been Modern Retro.
Hey, Lord. I remember when you were a little girl, hurled in this fickle world, riddled with the brittle churl of individuals treating you like a criminal, invisible, a literal outcast, a miracle to me. It was critical, you completed the ritual to bring your name from the spiritual to the physical. It was typical that the whole village would attend a naming ceremony. Then again, they were not amend. Bend any rules, were condemned and cannot ascend. But we had each other, you and I, to the bitter end. Mother and the father figure, proper giver, never with the guard you to my last breath. Quivers in my body riggers. You were so curious, honestly made me furious. But I loved your adventurous side that made you serious. It led you to fight for the truth of your reality. You trained valiantly and get the answers for your family. A father's work is never done, it's never won. Only keeps going, keeps growing, keeps showing that I'll never run. A daughter never find a better one. And when it gets tough, just remember how it all begun. A father's work is never done, it's never won. Only keeps